Hello everyone, welcome to this project on toxic comment classifier using natural language processing. So in this project, we have to classify whether the given comment is toxic in nature or not using machine learning model. So in social medias, we see many number of pages that people use abuse comments. So this model will detect and classify whether a particular comment is toxic in nature or not. So in order to run this model, first we have to import some important libraries. So as you can see here, we have imported pandas, numpy, seaborn, matplotlib, like that. So pandas not only help us to create the data structures, but also help us to manipulate those data structures. And in the beginning, we have used pandas in order to read the data set. And then the next thing is we have imported numpy as NP. So numpy stands for numeric Python, which helps us to work with arrays, and not only working with the arrays but also has domain and algebra and matrices in it. Next, the third import is seaborn. So seaborn is used for visualization of the data, that is the data visualization library, and seaborn is based on matplotlib. So basically seaborn helps us to visualize the statistical graphs. And then we have imported matplotlib library. So matplotlib library is a Python library which will help us in plotting. And then we have imported something called warnings. So whenever we run a machine learning model, so we might encounter some warnings. This import will directly ignore such warnings. So let us run this cell first. So it's done. We'll move on to the next import session. So here we have import RE, where RE stands for regular expressions. So regular expressions are a special sequence of characteristics, and then we will import RE. And over here RE stands for regular expression. So regular expressions are a special sequence of characters that help us to find and match over strengths or other setup strengths. And the next import over here is NLTK, which stands for Natural Language Toolkit. So it is basically our platform which will be used for building programs from text analysis. And then we have imported string, and as you can see that we have imported something called NLP underscore utils. This is NLP utils work with natural language processing. And then we have imported contractions. In NLP, we have to expand contractions. So contractions are nothing but words like, let's say we have a line called I'll be there. So if we use contractions, the line I'll be there will be changed to I will be there. So basically we expand the contractions in such a way and remove any shortcut words. And then the next import over here is stop words. So when it comes to stop words are nothing but English words which do not add much meaning to a sentence, like they can be safely ignored without sacrificing the meaning of the sentence. So words like the, if, are nothing but stop words, and even though we remove these words, they will not change or they will not show much impact on the meaning of the sentence. And that's the reason why we use stop words. So stop words are supposed to be removed from our data. And then we have to go for word net limitizer. So word net limitizer is a large, freely and publicly available textual database for the English language, which aims to establish a structured semantic relationship between words. And the next, we have used two tokenizations. So one is word tokenization, and the second one is a sent tokenize. So it represents as a word tokenize and sentence tokenize. So tokenization is nothing but a process of splitting the text into the list of tokens. So here we have used two tokenizations. One is word tokenize and the second one is a sentence tokenization. So we can either use word tokenize or a sentence tokenize to our data. And then we have import our stemmers. We have imported stemmers like Porter stemmer, Lancaster stemmer, and Snowball stemmer. So what they really do is they are nothing but the Python NLTK with the package. So So stemming is basically a process of producing interlection between words to the root words. It means the words like cooking are converted into cook. The word like fighting is converted into fight. So basically they take our word and convert them into their root words. And we know these are the necessary inputs. So later when we use the machine learning, the number of inputs will be going on increasing. So as I told earlier that we use pandas to read our data. So let us run this command first. So all our required libraries are imported successfully. Next is, as I told earlier, we have used pandas to read our data. So the data is in the form of CSV files. So we need this CSV file. So for that, first we have to upload our CSV file from our folder to this Colab notebook. Then we need to copy this path and replace with this. So here we have to read the data set which is stored in DF. So let us run this and see how our data cell looks like. So as you can see over here, so this is our data set. We have few columns. Among them we have ID, which is basically of no use. So we have to drop this column. That's the first thing. And next is the comment. Next column is toxic. If the comment is toxic in nature, it will be represented with 1, and if it is a non-toxic in nature, then it is represented with a 0. And then not only toxic, we have other types as well, which are severe toxic. We have the columns as well, and then we have comments which are threatening in nature, and then there is a discrimination or identity hate.